Welcome to the one and only NFC Beast show. We have myself, Shady, and we got my man Wise, El Jefe, and we got Cool in the building as well. Going on, Cool. Glad to come to you guys tonight with another show.
Yes,
Hope you,
sir.
yes, sir. Hope you guys enjoyed that intro. Big ups to Cole Johnson, co-host of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and he has Cole Sports, Get Over Divorce, and
Revelations.
Revelations. Man, this guy is, I would say, one of the best, arguably the best with graphics when it comes to putting together intros. So we hooked this up with that, and we got an outro that we can have for you guys too at the end of the show. So make sure to stay tuned and stay locked for that. But another episode. Sorry, running a little bit late for you guys viewing, but we definitely going to give you that hot content for tonight. Let's kind of go around the room. How's everybody doing? So, Sam, kick it over to you first. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. As always, I'm excited to talk to you guys for the second week in a row. This is going to be a blast talking to you guys all season long.
Definitely. Wise, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, brother. I'm out here in Cleveland, visiting some family friends, and my vacation's about to come to an end. So, yeah,
that last day, man. That last day hurt. You gotta.
tomorrow's the last day. So, yeah.
Yeah. I cool. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Just trying to get every little last second detail straight up here in Maryland.
Okay.
Getting ready for this matchup tomorrow.
Maryland.
Yeah, right. Man.
Commanders, Eagles, and this is a great week. This is a great week to do the NFC Beast, man. This is absolutely perfect.
It's all the games are division games.
Yeah. We got Cowboys. Let me put it up here. Let me match it up correctly here, real quick. Let me do this. We got Cowboys, Giants on Monday. Well, and then we got Eagles.
We missing coach, so yeah.
Yeah, we missing coach, but we may have somebody coming on here in a minute. But we got Eagles, Commanders tomorrow, so perfect timing, man. Perfect timing.
Slapped us at the bottom, huh? I dig it.
Hey, I'm just trying. Me and Wise, we facing each other on Monday.
I dig it.
But yeah, should be a good matchup. But let's kind of talk about last week. Well, first off, I want to talk about the division, and we can all kind of touch on that. We got two teams that are 2-0. First off, was that a surprise to anybody? I would think.
Well, one of the teams, yes. I know one of the teams we surprised is 2-0 because I'm surprised it is my team. So, listen, but like I said, it all depends on how Daniel Jones and Saquon were going to perform. Because I knew we had a solid D. I just didn't expect Saquon to have the game he did, the first game. And then second game, Daniel Jones didn't turn over the ball.
Yeah. And that's the deal. That's what we talked about on Snowman yesterday is those turnovers, which that's big for all of our teams. And let me give a shout out real quick. We got Into the Bench podcast, Into the Bench Media. He's upgrading. That's my man H-Rap, co-host of the Forecast. Check out his channel. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with turnovers. But we got two Eagles guys on here. You guys are 2-0. You guys want to give your shot at it? Are you surprised?
Well, I'll say this, man. No. I'll be completely honest with you. No. I'm not surprised with 2-0.
Okay. Sam?
Definitely not. I think we're definitely contenders for possibly a deep playoff run this season. It just depends on how everything shakes out. I was incredibly impressed by Jalen Hurts' performance. I think that was one of the big things that we were all asking questions about is his accuracy. And through the first 2 weeks, I think he's proved a lot of doubters wrong.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely proved to me the second game that he's able to spread the ball around, because that first game it seemed like he was just targeting AJ Brown, but second game he showed me he can actually spread the ball around. When they took away AJ Brown, he got the ball finally to Smith, and like I said, he has potential. He has the ability to be a great quarterback. Can he show that progression, and he's been showing it. So
Yeah, and I love the fact that he had such a great performance, on prime time, right? He came out on prime time. It was the anti-Kirk Cousins. He came to show people what he had, you know what I'm saying, what he had. Whereas the other quarterback acts like he didn't even want to report to work that day.
Yeah, and I think that there's been two good matchups, two appetizing matchups. I'll say, week 1 with the Lions, which they gave you some run, and then week 2 with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, you don't know what he's going to be from night in to night out, day in from day out, and I feel for every last Vikings fan because that roller coaster of emotions, man, will make you pull your hair out. I understand. I've been there plenty of times, but to throw 3 picks. I think that was obviously turnovers can equal points and 3 picks, and it was 2 by
Big play Slay.
Yeah, your man's.
My man's.
who my man had to. He's got to claim some receipts later on.
Yeah, I got some receipts I'm gonna need to claim later on, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. And just to give a little bit of a take on the Cowboys, they surprised me. And Sam, I'll give you your props, Sam. You were giving the Cowboys hope. I was very doom and gloom last week, but I'll say they stepped up. I think a couple things. Obviously, Michael Parsons is a beast. There's no other way to put that, and he's going to be a terror this entire season. But number 2, I think we put the Bengals on a pedestal too early. And one of those people I would say was me, because I really thought that they were going to come in and pick us apart, which they did not. Now, he didn't have a bad day, Joe Burrow, 199 and 1 touchdown. But I think we were able to a little bit stop the running game. Mixon had 57 yards and Burrow had 26 and P. Ryan only had 2. So I think that's a major thing. And combined, we're at 96 yards in rushing and a touchdown for Pollard, a long run. And you got to get Pollard involved. Like you can't sit back and just think that he's too big of a weapon for us to just sit on and not utilize. So I'll give my boys some props. Cooper Rush didn't make any mistakes. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Well, that's what he's supposed to do, not make mistakes. He's not there to win games. Mm-hmm. He's there to manage games.
The game manager. Yep.
He's the manager. He's there to manage the game. He's not Dak Prescott,
right?
Regardless of what Mike Orvin says.
Let's not get him.
But to me, he just has to manage the game. If McCarthy can stick to the run and make passes when he's supposed to call the pass plays when he's supposed to, then Dallas is going to be all right till Dak comes back.
Yeah.
But if he goes back to Mike McCarthy that we know and don't like, he's going to pass the ball 40, 50 times, and Cooper Rush, that's not his game.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
That's not what he does. And into the bench with the great comment, it's like what we've been saying. You need to commit to the run, otherwise they will continue to lose. You run to win, you throw to score. That's definitely something that A-Trap has preached on his shows too. And so you got to be, consistency is definitely key.
Yeah,
I think you can't, and this is with all of our teams, you can't just do something and then when something goes left or something bad happens, you can't just abandon it. And
right.
That's what we've seen numerous times, with these Cowboys. So coming up, like I was going to get to week number 3, we got Cowboys Giants and we got Eagles Commanders. Really a perfect matchup to this upcoming week of games. And nothing better that we can talk about than this right now on the NFC Beast. About the NFC East division, it really doesn't get any better. So I'm going to go to the Eagles guys first, and I'm going to go to you first, Cool. You'll be going to the game.
Okay.
Right? So give me your take, how you feeling. Also the area. I know you in that area too, so they might have some commander flags, next to in your room.
Yeah. Got a few dirty looks today so far. So that makes me feel good, you know.
Well, you see, he had the Commander Red behind him, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man. I don't like how they did the hotel. Right? I was like, man, I'm trying to find a better angle. But how I got set things up, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to roll with it. You know, they set me up. I feel like they knew and they set me up, man. Like they personally did this in this room. I bet if I go next door, it's white.
It's probably green.
But no, man. I think it's a good game. A lot of arrogant people, a lot of them in my fan base, I will go ahead and call that out, are going to come along and say, oh, you know, the Eagles are going to just crush the Commanders. You're just going to destroy them. Clearly don't watch football if you feel that way, because you don't have a lot of blowouts within these divisional games between all the teams. It's just not a lot of blowouts. Every once in a while, you know, somebody gets spanked, like we got spanked by Dallas last year in the first game. You know, you own it, you move on. But for the most part, the games are normally pretty, you know, tight. So I'm expecting somewhere between 7 to 10 points. You know, nothing outrageous. With them driving at the end to try to make it tighter, and big play Slade getting him another one. Why not, right? I mean, he's doing it.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have to run the ball quite a bit. We're going to want to control the clock because they have a lot of weapons. Their quarterback is questionable because mentally I just think he's soft. But if he's having a good game, if he's playing well, which can happen as well, all those weapons that he has on offense become more dangerous. So I think you have to go into the game. You got to pounce on them early. You want them to get nervous. You want him to get shook up a little bit. You want him to know pressure's coming. And you want him to get out of his comfort zone and go back to being walking to and wins, because that's who we want to see, right? That's the easiest way for us to win.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this what needs to happen from the Eagles end.
Yeah. All right, man.
So I know the Commanders just lost to the Lions and the Eagles beat the Lions in week 1. And, you know, people are going to put 2 and 2 together here and think we're going to walk all over the Commanders. I don't think it's going to be that easy. One of the reasons why is our left side of our line has shown to have some downsides at times. And with Washington's front 7, I think they're the one defensive line in this particular division that matches up very well with our offensive line. So I think there's going to be kind of a chess match there all game long, and there's a very high potential of Jalen Hurts having pressure in his face all day long. And if that's the case, this might end up being a loss. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that Malata and Dickerson rise to the challenge, but it remains to be seen this weekend.
Yeah. And to speak on the Commanders for a minute, they lost 36-27 last week to the Lions. Carson Wentz threw 46 times. Personally, I think that's too much. I'm sure his teammates would probably say the same thing. They had 14 carries for Gibson for 28 yards and the touchdown. McKissick 3 for 9. Fantasy owners got to be probably pissed if they had McKissick starting, because you probably got 0.1 points on that one. But Wentz with just 1 pick. And I think, again, going back to what we've been talking about, his confidence is going to be the biggest thing for them in this entire season. They got a home game tomorrow. It's a division rival, though. We know how this goes. It can go either way.
And it's his former team. So
exactly.
It's
and we're deep.
We're deep. You're deep.
We're deep here. We're deep in.
You gotta understand that the teams that they lost to, the Lions, aren't the same old Lions.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell has them playing good football. They're a pretty good football team. So there's no shame in losing to the Lions. Listen, Eagles almost lost to them.
Right. I mean, that Lions team, they have a lot.
It's better than what it was in the past. That's for sure. Dan Campbell has that. He's riding that ship. Yeah. So just to go off of that loss, I can't just count it as, oh, Philly's gonna come. They beat Detroit. They're gonna come in and handle Washington. We already know when it comes to division games, we always play each other tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's this thing where we just come in and we play each other tough, for the exception of last year's Philly Dallas game. But for the most part, it comes down to last seconds or last plays, and I don't see it changing this weekend. I think Philly's going to win because I think they're going to get into Wentz's head, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah,
I agree.
There's nothing that we're going to be able to do to stop the Commanders from getting down the field sometime. I mean, it's not like the Eagles are a top 5 team and the Commanders are just garbage. I mean, they had that was a tough Lions team, and like you said, losing to a team that's probably better than most people anticipated them being. There's really no shame in that.
Yeah,
you're not going to win every game. This is a chance for them to turn it around. This is a chance for them to say, "Hey, we're a little behind in the division right now. We can't really afford to lose this game." If you're a Commanders fan, you probably start to feel the way because then you got Dallas the next week, right? So you kind of get that sense of we got some games early in the season that we need to win because not only is it a loss, but it's a division loss. So
right, and that's a point too to bring up because we love this. The media loves to say this is a must-win game. Now this is early in the season, but because it is a division game for both of us, for all 4 teams, I think this is a must-win game because it could count against you. Towards the end of the season. You guys agree or disagree with that?
100% agree.
Anytime it's a division game, it's just huge, man. I'm saying because if you already won one ball, so if you lose a game, you're already 1 game behind. So it's gonna be an interesting week. It's definitely gonna be an interesting weekend.
Yeah.
All right, losing it's like a double loss, so you don't want that.
No, we don't.
And I would compare this to college football. When you lose games early, you can kind of recoup in college football because if you lose one, but if you lose more than one kind of division early, then it's going to affect you later on, and you probably won't be in the in the top 4.
Yeah.
In this division, we just continue to battle each other no matter what, and that's as we talk about NFC Beast. They play each other tough every single time that they're on the field, and it didn't matter if your team was garbage that year, they were going to be the spoiler, or if they were the in the top of the division and they wanted to impose that dominance. So let me give a shout out to Nathan or Mashandra. Thank you for tuning in. He's a Cowboys fan. He said, "What's up, Ben? What's up, everyone? Hey, I might have to possibly get you in this group, man, if you want to join in." He said, "Let's go Cowboys." And he's in I think he's in Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. So
and he's a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Oh man. That's a bold move.
Listen, New York got a bunch of Cowboy fans, man. Like I got a few
everywhere,
friends.
dude, man.
Everywhere, man.
Fans. They're like the Yankees.
Yeah, let's bring on our guest here live, Wire Sports. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing today?
Good.
Well, tonight rather.
So I'm assuming you're a Commanders fan. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. I am a long life Redskin football team Commanders fan. If I could add that all in there. Yeah. Some say Commanders fan, you know what I'm saying, with the Ron Rivera regime over there, you know what I'm saying? So
like that. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Quick little round of applause. All right. So first off, I'm gonna ask you this, and then I want you to kind of go into this week 3 against the Eagles. Did you want the Commanders name? Were you one of those fans that voted for Commanders?
No, honestly, no, I didn't. I had no idea they was gonna go that route. I knew it was gonna be something with tradition, but my guess was everybody wanted Red Wolves. Everybody was so hooked on Red Wolves, and it fits so perfectly because we've seen a lot of the I guess people was making images of the logo and everything like that. So I really wanted Red Wolves. I was okay keeping it as the football team because I really got into the Washington football team, because I could easily say, what the F is, spelled a little bit backwards with Washington football team. So but I didn't think they was gonna come out. And then the thing about it, they didn't keep the secret. You know what I'm saying? They started leaking a lot of stuff out, like the uniforms and all of this stuff. So it was like you might as well go ahead and just come on out with it and just quit trying to hide it. So no, I wasn't. But now that we have it, I mean, I have to, you know, stomach it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's what it is at this point in time until somebody comes in, take over for Daniel Snyder, whenever that will be, and change it. So hey,
yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, and I want us all to kind of jump in on this, being the NFC East show. There was a story that came out that the owners are trying or thinking, I don't know what wording they use, trying to push out Daniel Snyder or push him to sell the team. Now, Livewire, give me your thoughts on that. How do you feel about that?
okay. Did that came out this week or?
I think it was when I looked at my phone. It was today or yesterday. And
wow! Well, because I'm usually on top of it, I missed that one. And well, I've been wanting him to leave for the longest. To be honest with you, I mean, I could do a better job on the show with this than this guy.
I'm not even a fan.
I mean, right? I mean, shoot, I'm sitting. We all fans. We sit here and watch our team from a distance, but the stuff that goes on in there, because like I was very fond of Robert Kraft, and just to see what he went through, and I was like, all right, come on, this is really getting out of hand. Everybody really has to like sit down and figure out what's best for them. Then the John Gruden situation. Then you had Bruce Allen on Capitol Hill, and don't know what he done told and everything up there. And Daniel Snyder, he being defiant, he's running around, not wanting to participate. I can't get the word out of my mouth. Cooperate. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if that's true, and seeing what the NBA did to the Phoenix owner, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. We just got I think one of the COOs, he resigned, saying that he wants to be close to his family. I don't know where his family at, but that's the report that's out right now. I think it's more to that story than what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because if the owners are sitting down and say, hey, you know what, we need to get Daniel Snyder out of here. We need to force him to sell the team. We need to do whatever it takes. And then all of a sudden somebody resigns from the organization. You know what they say? When there's smoke, there's fire. So being honest, I'm all for it. I mean, if that's what it has to take to bring this franchise back to prominence, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. Let me give a shout out to D13. Thank you for tuning in. He says hello, good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, let me pull this up. SB Nation, 8 hours ago. Some NFL owners' attitudes towards forcing Dan Snyder to sell the Washington franchise is shifting. Because I think they had his back at first. I mean, I'm still there. But Sam, let me go over to you. What's your thoughts on this?
I'm with Livewire. I personally think Daniel Snyder needs to be out of the NFL at this point. I think we need to, I don't want to say a no tolerance policy, because obviously they left Robert Kraft alone for the most part. But his situation was a little bit different. This situation, it sounds like employees are being mishandled, etc. And that stuff cannot be allowed in the NFL. I mean, at the end of the day, people are still going to continue to take those jobs because there's only 32 teams. But if you're going to continue to create a toxic environment, that simply is just tarnishing the NFL image. And of course, owners are going to want to protect that image long term.
To protect the shield at all costs. That's what owners think. Protect that shield. All right, cool.
If you want Daniel Snyder gone, make him give up the emails, period. If those emails come out, he's gone. This is like the situation in Phoenix with the Suns. If you put the stuff that he's done out there, he's gonna have to sell the team because everybody's gonna be like, nah.
But
If he
it's
stays,
out there. It's not like it's not
it's a
out
wrap.
there. It's not like it's not out there.
Well,
It's
true,
out
but I'm
there.
saying like if the
Saying?
actual emails get
It's
out
not
though,
just that. It's the sexual harassment.
yeah, it's enough other stuff
treatment
without
of
the
women.
emails.
And to bring that, because listen, Washington is one of the storied franchises, man. The Hogs, Joe Gibbs,
The Hog Mollies.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
saying? So you're disgracing one of the best franchises ever in the NFL. I'm saying. So for me, he's just been a big disgrace since this team has been floundering since he's owned them. They
Yeah.
haven't- Look at the Marty Schottenheimer debacle. He leads them to the playoffs and gets fired. All these other, it's like it's one thing after another with this man. He's not about putting out a product. It's just, to me, he's just been very self-destructive. He's been destroying that franchise since he's bought it.
Yeah.
And he needs to just give it up, like sell it.
Yeah.
Give back the Washington team to the people, whatever. I don't care how. Sell it to someone who's worth being the owner.
Sell it to the Native Americans.
If that's
real.
what you want to do, yeah.
Put the
And then they can
emails
appoint
out, and he's
someone.
gone tomorrow. I'm telling you.
And then they can appoint someone to run the team. I would say
Yeah.
I like that idea. And I think too, the minute he hired Mike Zorn that year, the dude was like a quarterback's coach somewhere or something. Like,
Yeah, I think Jim Soren's son
Zorn.
or something. Yeah.
As soon as he hired him, I was like, "That's 2 dubs."
I gotta look at all the timing of how that all worked out. I can't remember exactly when Zorn was in Washington, but Washington, for some odd reason, is really big on the former spring league guys, and Zorn was one of those head coaches in the XFL. So I wonder if that kind of has a reason for it.
Cool probably could appreciate this comment. I was watching my Miami Hurricanes today, and we got lit up. And I was like, I said, is Jack Del Rio coaching the defense? I was like, what the hell is really going on out here? I was like,
Is Mike Zorn coaching the wide receivers?
exactly. I was like, man,
Middle Tennessee State. Is that what am I reading that way?
yeah.
Here's
And
the thing, man. I know we're NFL show, but I just gotta say this: once Miami loses, they come unhinged. They lost last week. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. And the funny
Again
thing
next
about it, funny thing about it, Middle Tennessee State is 3-0 against Miami. The first 2 wins came in 1931 and 32, and here we in 2022.
What a stat! What a stat that is! Wow,
Man,
they could say they're undefeated. Yeah, they could literally say they're undefeated against Miami. Wow.
yeah, I was like,
Wow.
but well, I mean, back to the Commanders and everything, and I appreciate everybody coming because everybody pretty about spot on about Daniel Snyder. I wish that when the sponsors was forcing him to change the name, they should have pulled out completely, and that's when they should have made him sell the team then, not just to change the name. I mean, make him be gone for good, because I still say that John Gruden got a lot of evidence that he ain't really put out yet, and I know he's trying to do this lawsuit, and everything ties to him and Bruce Allen, and whatever they know and Bruce Allen has, there's like Cool say, if you put it out, you see what's going on with Boston right now.
Yep.
That franchise about to come unglued all over the place.
Don't get me started on the Boston situation.
So
Yeah, you got on that last.
Yo,
time.
that's a special.
Yeah.
We do a special.
man,
We did it yesterday. We did it yesterday on Poppy J
You
and
can
Y.
dissect that. Left and right.
I was gonna do a video on it, and I'm still like collecting a lot of stuff. I'm like, everybody had their fun with it. I was like, let me go into Monday or Tuesday, fresh off, see what more information comes out over the weekend on that. But yeah, man, honestly, like I said, I could do a better job than Daniel Snyder. If they call me right now, I'm going. I'm like, look, hey, we can run my podcast from FedEx Field right in the press box.
Snowman.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, yeah, that's Snowman right
This
there.
guy.
Yes, Snowman. I know they are the Redskins. Period. Trust
Snowman is old school. He don't.
He is
Yeah.
Trust
old
me. I have this guy that I work with at BMW, older white guy, and me and him have conversation all the time. He say, "Do you call them Commanders?" I said, "Well, they still my team. I have to." He said, "I don't." He said, "F that. They the Redskins. I don't care what nobody said." I said, "Hey, the each is on." I'm not gonna take that away from you. You have every right to. I know what they were. I still represent what they were. I go through all the transitions with them. It's hard right now. You know what I'm saying? This right now, we kind of like a little bit until I want to see what's after 6 games, what we do from 6 games. Then I'll be good.
And I think in today's time, what we like to do, which I think is right and wrong, is we like to go back and try to rewrite these wrongs and stuff that happened ages ago, which you can't necessarily do. You can't fix that they were called the Redskins for all these years. Now you can fix it going forward, which I get the name change, but I agree with you, Livewire. They should have canned him when this whole name change happened. They should have canned him then, because now it's like you got to get a momentum. That's like the story said. There's a momentum. You got to get people. You got to get people involved. You're gonna have to convince people. Like you should have did it at that point. And I think now it's more of it's becoming an afterthought, which is gonna probably take longer at this point. But the Sun situation, I think, brought this back up, and I think that's if the Sun situation didn't happen, I don't know if we'd even be talking about this.
And to his credit, also, you remember when the Suns lawyers, the lawyers came out and asked him to sell the team, the owner for the Suns to sell the team. You know, in the last part of that statement, they brought up Daniel Snyder's name. They brought him up in the NFL. They say people like Daniel Snyder has to go. So that when I read that, I say something's going to come up about Daniel Snyder because of this situation, and we going to see how much pressure, because you know the NBA is a players' league. So if the players feel some type of way about something, they're going to speak up on it. I wish
Good old boy network. It's turning on them. Once the good old boy network turn on you, you out of there.
Yeah, and I wish the NFL players was like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they could put pressure, even play.
The difference is, and the contracts in the NFL and the way that is the Players Association. All that has to do with the Players Association.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
And to me, I feel like the Players Association is more on the side of the NFL than sometimes the player.
Yeah,
so,
they're soft. They're soft.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like Carson Wentz is the president of the Players Association. That's what I was about to say.
I love that.
Wow.
Oh,
shots fired. Shots fired. You got that one, cool. You got that one in. I see where we going right now.
but he's 100% right. You think of this sport. This is a sport where you could hit your head and be paralyzed for life. This is a sport where you could die on the field. And there's not guaranteed money. They decide how much money, the guaranteed money you get. Yeah. You got to sign the contract. That's on. I agree with Wise. That's on the Player Association.
Yeah.
You should not be playing this game without it being
guaranteed.
Only guaranteed. Because it's not like the money don't exist.
You're playing. Listen. The NFL owners are laughing to the bank, man.
Oh, yeah. King of the
listen, Snowman. It's not Wednesday. Do not mention that man's name.
He said Wentz. He said Wentz sexuals. He didn't do Brown sexuals.
But you know why he brought it up.
Yeah, you know what's why I was cutting him off in the past.
Why he brought it up. But anyway, it's the Players Association, man. Like even with the concussion situations and all this stuff.
Yeah.
these contracts should not. That's why I'm not mad at Deshaun Watson for taking the Browns to the bank. Get that money, bro, because the players have been getting screwed long enough. So I'm not upset that these players are getting all these guaranteed contracts, and I'm not upset that Lamar Jackson is like, nah, if you're not guaranteeing at least $230 million, I'm not playing.
As he shouldn't.
And he got receipts. He got receipts. That's the difference between him and a bunch of others.
He's a former MVP.
He's an MVP.
Hey, me.
Exactly. All the quarterbacks getting paid. Josh Allen getting paid. Kyler Murray getting paid. And Lamar Jackson, he's sitting here like, what do I got to do? His numbers speak loudly, and being the MVP of the league speaks clearly, volumes than all them other guys. I had a conversation with another guy at work. It's funny too, because
I thought he was going to say I had a conversation.
Right, you already mentally prepared, right? Right.
No,
I was like, oh no.
So he argued me down and said that there ain't no guaranteed contracts in the NFL, only in the Major League and NBA. I say yes, they are guaranteed contracts, but it's for certain caliber of players. Not everybody's getting a guaranteed contract. If you're a high profile player, you going to demand guaranteed money. That's why when they say, hey, if Cool signs a contract for $300 million and 200 of that guaranteed, off that, and they break the rest of his contract down for about 4 or 5 years, how you think Deshaun Watson was able to pay half of them people if that money wasn't guaranteed? I told him like this. I said, look, he sent me a YouTube video, and I said, bro, anybody could talk about stuff on YouTube. I said, you don't know how many channels there is to talk about contracts and stuff. I said, what you need to do is get me a hard copy of a contract and get me a lawyer and let me break it down to you. I said, then I'll tell you how I go legally. I said, I don't care what nobody. He said, then he brought up Ryan Clark. I said, I don't care less what Ryan Clark got to say. He talked about, well, Ryan Clark don't know what he talking about. I said, for half of the damn time he don't. I say he gets on there with with First Take, and he do what he needs to do. Ryan Clark would groom to be an analyst, and he doing what analysts do. You know what I'm saying?
ESPN analyst.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, an ESPN puppet analyst. How about that?
And if you go on, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but if you go on Spotrac, they break down contracts.
Yes, they do.
If you don't go to that website to look up contracts, and you're not getting the full breakdown.
What's the name of it again?
Sportrac.
Sportrac. Okay.
Yeah, SPORTRAC.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put it in the
It's another one too. I can't remember it offhand. I can get there like when I'm navigating through my history, but it's another one too. But Sportrac is good. They break it down.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I remember there's one other one as well that I can't find off the top of my head. But I wanted to mention that a couple of years ago he was probably right. There weren't any guaranteed contracts fully, but Kirk Cousins changed the game, and then Deshaun Watson followed him.
Of all people, it was Kirk Cousins.
My cousin Kurt.
Which makes no sense, because if you think about it, it should have been every quarterback since then. I mean, because that was way back in 2017, 2018?
Yeah, around that time,
Yeah, somewhere around that time, yeah.
So Kirk Cousins still hustling the game.
Yes, he is.
he robbed the Brinks truck. They ain't trying to get it back. They just said, "Oh, okay, sure."
They want
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
A franchise tag on them. They're like, hey, listen, they hit.
I appreciate the Vikings
tag on them.
Man, I would have franchise tag him 1 year, and you know what, bro? You could go. Matter of fact, I won't even franchise you. You want to leave that bad? Go ahead and go. I ain't not putting no money in your pocket. I'm like,
really?
I don't even live in Landover, Maryland, and he was taxing me, and I live here in Georgia. I felt the pain from that. I was like, good grief, Kurt. We supposed to be family.
Kurt said, ain't no fan for me. It's all about them dollars.
As I see.
$1 bills, y'all.
Yep. It's Minnesota problem right now.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely.
It's their problem to deal with. All right. So as we're coming back around, let's get to give me your take, live wire, on this week 3 matchup. The Eagles already gave their take, so I'm gonna present it to you. Go ahead and give your take with some keys in the game.
So everybody on here is Eagles fan?
Oh no.
Okay.
Disrespectful
Okay.
like that, man.
Man,
Okay. I gotta just check, you know what I'm saying? Because I know the gentleman to the left or right of me is an Eagles fan. So me and him already discussed some things, but I have a whole different take today on this game. I think I feel Washington is gonna win this game. And I said it because I watched. Now the one thing that I'm really concerned about is our defense. That's my Achilles heel of this team right now is the defense. How are they going to count for Jalen Hurts? How they going to count for AJ Green? Now we are getting Cam Curl back, so that should help out significantly. So I'm definitely looking for that part. But I still want to see us try to keep Jalen Hurts for not running them explosive run plays on us and bearing down, because the Eagles do have a all right running game, but if they keep putting pressure on our defensive line where we thin at right now, it could be a long game, because then if we can't stop the run, then all of a sudden Jalen Hurts, he gonna know that, and then he's gonna stop throwing it. And then what's gonna happen? We gonna be tired and we always play out of position because Jack Del Rio always want to play zone and everything, and is wide open in the middle of the field. Now for us on the offensive side of the ball, I think we could put up. If Detroit could put up 35 points, and we was down 22 against Detroit, and we came back, in that game with 27 points. I feel we could put up points. I think you could put up points on Philadelphia. Now the way Philadelphia shut down Minnesota is a different story, because they only had one weapon at wide receiver. We have multiple weapons at wide receiver that you're really gonna have to account for. You're gonna have to account for Terry. You're gonna have to account for Dotson, Samuels, Thomas, and McKissick and everybody else. So to spread out, just if Carson Wentz could somehow not be Carson Wentz,
that's the big hit. That's the big hit.
I'll repeat that again. Somehow Carson Wentz don't beat Carson Wentz, and he managed the game to where he don't have to feel like he got to do it all, because he don't have to do it all. He got enough talent, he got enough weapons around there that he could get the ball to his playmakers and let the game come to him. That's the main thing. Let the game come to him. Don't hey, we got Philly at home. I got to win this game. They've been talking trash about me. They say I ain't no team player. I'm fragile. My mind ain't right. And all of this great stuff. Just go out there and play the game. And if they play the game, Washington will win. And I got them winning in a close game by 3.
Okay. I like what you said, though. Yeah, as long as Wentz is not Wentz, he's got to get out of his own head.
Listen, if he's passing 40 plus times, they're gonna lose.
I would like to say, but Wentz is Wentz. Jack Del Rio is Jack Del Rio. And if you spend your time focusing on taking away Jalen Hurts as a runner, Jack Del Rio will see that it's not an okay running game. It's a really good running game. It's just not going to be spread out between so many people. Spy Hurts. Hey, by all means, I invite Jack Del Rio. Spy Hurts the whole game. Do it.
He won't do it.
Kill, demolish, and desecrate you.
He ain't gonna do it. He not gonna do it. He gonna do the opposite. He gonna play that zone coverage. Like I said, he gonna play that zone coverage. Hurts probably gonna have he'll probably have close to, if he play that zone coverage, Hurts, only thing he gonna do is just drop back, and if he see a lane, he's gonna run because there ain't no linebackers gonna be there to stop him. Cole Holcomb, I don't know what the helicopter he's doing. We should have kept Tim settled. You know what I'm saying? Jamin Davis, you could probably use him to blitz the quarterback, but I think Hurts is he done got strong. He done got strong, a little bit bigger than what he has been. And it's gonna be a tough time because he knows he's gonna have to run the ball frequently throughout the season, and he want his body to be able to take punishment that that's gonna be coming to him. But I don't know what Jack the Real is gonna come up with. And like who say, if you spy him, man, it's gonna be a long day. But I don't know. I think for some reason, I don't think this game is going to be as high scoring that we might anticipate. I think this is going to be a dogfight game. It's going to be who's going to make the first mistake. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be in the 20s, but I don't think it's going to get in the 30s. And if it does, then, that means both of the defense ain't playing. So.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the Monday night game. Me and you, Wise, going at it.
Sure.
Cowboys Giants Monday night. I like that matchup. I think that's a perfect time. I thought you would either put it on Sunday night or Monday. I think Monday's fine. I would have loved if Dak was playing, but he can't do anything about that. He's playing catch with his left hand and playing tickle fight with Zeke. But I'll give you the floor first. Why?
Well, I'm excited to see Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari on the field together, and we've won the last 2 games without a pass rush. We're going to be missing Leonard Williams, but I feel our front line, defensive line is, especially bringing back our 2 edge rushers and stuff like that. It's going to help us put pressure on Cooper, because I feel Mike McCarthy's going to abandon the run after a while. I just got that feeling, man. And if you think Cooper Rush is going to beat that pass rush, I don't think so. That's one of our strengths right now is our defense. We have a pretty solid defense. Love is playing great at the cornerback position. I'm happy with our safeties. We're still a young defense, but I'm just excited to have a pass rush. We haven't had it the last 2 weeks. So, and I need Daniel Jones not to turn the ball over. Do not turn
Daniel Jones cannot be Daniel Jones.
I need him not to be Danny Dimes. That's what I need him not to be.
There we go. Yes.
That's what I need him not to be, Danny Dimes. I need him to be Daniel Jones. And what was it you called him? Danny Penny?
Danny Penny.
Danny Pennies. Yeah, I don't need Danny Pennies. I need Daniel Jones.
Well, Daniel Jones and the Giants playing Washington. Daniel Jones be looking like Lamar Jackson out there.
Listen. The man has the ability, and I think he finally has the coaching staff around him to bring it out, because he's underrated as far as the athletic ability is, because he can run the ball. Can he not trip over himself? I don't know.
Hey, he's done it against Philly. He's had some nice runs against Philly.
Listen, he can run the rock. I know he can run the rock, but I don't want him to run the rock. That's why I got Saquon Barkley back there.
Didn't he get knocked out the game last year for running the ball and he fell on his head or something like that?
He tripped, man.
Them people come out of the grass.
Yeah, man. This is be tripping them.
The grass monsters.
Grass monsters, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Parsons gonna be over him all night long.
That's what's key. I need
all night.
I need Thomas and Neal, and I need that interior line to step up, because Micah Parsons will be coming after him, and if we can get. But see, the thing is, Saquon is a good block and black as well. It's not like Saquon is one of those backs that doesn't know how to block. If Saquon could chip, like we already know Micah don't like getting chipped. So if we can keep chipping away at him and sending as many blockers as we can towards him, we can probably try to contain him because there's no way stopping him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is next to Von Miller, probably the
Von
best
Miller.
linebacker.
Yeah.
Because the only other linebacker I know that's playing out of this world right now is Von Miller. So
Yeah.
You know, when they talk about motor, they talk about that in the draft draft night. They talk about people's motors, and I mean, I'm like, I didn't really get that until I seen Parsons. When
Yeah.
the minute he's on the field, there's no
yeah.
yellow light. It's all green,
Mhm.
all green, and I
It's
love that
like
about
all gas, no break.
it. All gas, no
Yeah.
brakes. Exactly. So looking at the injury report for the Cowboys, Gallup is questionable. I think they said he is going to play. Dalton Schultz is questionable. Connor McGovern is out, which probably means Matt Farnock may be playing at left guard. I don't think Peters is ready yet, at least from what they've been talking about. Jaron Curse is out. That's gonna be a big miss. So it looks like Israel Mukunye will be coming in. He's a second-year player out of South Carolina. So the defense is going to be ready. That's one thing I do know. Just the way this defense has been coached these past 2 years, obviously with Dan coming in, I think that's been major. And there's really nobody can say, oh, we don't want to keep Dan Quinn. I was like, just get this dude a blank check. I don't care what he wants. Jerry, just pay the man. You haven't seen a defense like this since Parcells, and this is better than Parcells' defense doing those.
Mhm.
Well, you got two studs in Parsons and Diggs, and then you also have a bunch of other players that are out there that I'm saying they have a talented defense. Nobody's ever last couple of years they haven't been. It hasn't been the issue. It hasn't been the defense. It's been the offense. It's been all Mike McCarthy not running the rock, relying on Dak to win the game. You've had the defense for the last few years. You saying, especially since Micah came into the league. So now
Mhm.
with him, Diggs, and the rest of that defense, you have that. I think it's going to be a defensive game. It's the team that causes the most turnovers is going to win the game.
Yeah.
So
Let me give a shout out to my guy Mandeleon. Thank you for tuning in. He's in the Facebook group. You may have to click that link just so we can see who you are. But
yeah,
you said who you were. You say who you were, so I know you are. But I think this is going to be a low scoring game, and I think for the Cowboys side, it's really somewhat perfect that you don't have Dak because you're forced to have to manage and run the ball. You're forced to because you are not going to have Cooper Rush throw the ball 40 times. You're just not going to do that because we know that's not going to work. You're going to
Yeah.
rely on defense, running game, which they did some, giving the ball to Tony Pollard. Give him the ball more. Like I don't care that Zeke gets paid more. He's not as athletic right now as Tony Pollard is. It's just fact.
once Zeke got that bag, Zeke is like, I'm done.
Yeah. And I had a coworker of mine again that I was talking to, and he was like, they shouldn't pay Zeke that money. I was on the board because I just thought Zeke was a different type of running back. I thought he was an Adrian Peterson type.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was not, and I was wrong, very wrong on that prediction.
I don't know, man. I still think he's got that capability. I mean, it's maybe
He
it's
doesn't have the
desire.
capability.
He
It's the
hasn't
desire.
shown it.
It's the desire. You said it. That's what the key word right there.
I-
It's desire. It's not. He's paid now, so it's like to me, it's like I'm not. I'm good. I got the bag.
I think Zeke probably be his last year with y'all.
Ooh, okay.
Could be. It could be.
I think he wants a fresh start. I think, to me, for the last couple of years, I've been watching him, and he's not the same runner. Now, it could be because he got that money, but his production has went down. And then, especially when they used Tony Pollard a lot last year, you know, I mean, he could go somewhere where he knows that the team is going to run the ball a lot because, like you just said, with Dak in there, you know, they don't run the ball enough. You know what I'm saying? Dak wants to throw. He wants to throw. He wants to get it out, but they don't. I mean, I ain't not a Cowboy fan. I'm rooting for y'all to lose on Monday, but I. My brother-in-law, a Cowboy fan, he hasn't texted me yet, so I don't want to hear from him right now. So, but the funny thing is, if the Cowboys win Monday and we win Sunday, that means everybody is tied in the conference. Yeah. So, hey, I'll take it anyway. We could go. We all start at 0 again.
Yeah.
But go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, let's look at these Zeke stats. Let's go in this stats. Stats don't lie to me. First year, obviously, 1,600 yards. Second year, 983. And let me back up. He had 15 touchdowns in that first season. 983, 1434, 1357, 2020 at 979, 1,002 in 2021. He's got 105 so far this year. So I think, and I said this before, the Cowboys do not like change, period. So they will not let him go unless there's something that happens that causes to let him go. Now, if there's an out in the contract this next upcoming year, they may, because he's getting paid. He's getting paid a good amount of money, but they don't like change. I mean, that's the reason why they kept Jason Garrett for 10 years. They don't like change, and they tried. Jason Garrett was begging them. I don't know if y'all heard this, or this is Dallas media, but Garrett was begging them to keep him on the staff. They were like, just hire me as the special team coach. Hire me as the trainer. He's gonna still be in the building. They were listening to him. Like, if they don't tell you nothing about the Cowboys, that should tell you right there. This dude was below average, a robot. I want a Denny Green, okay? I want somebody to kick the podium, say we are who they thought they were.
What? Danny Green. Hey, but that's Danny classic, Green. Boy. Danny Green, like, we had him and we let him off the hook.
They ain't about to, Dallas ain't about to get a bite like that. They don't want that.
I know. All right, so look, I'm never gonna pick. Well, actually, I did pick against the Cowboys last week, but this week I'm not picking against the Cowboys. Monday night, underneath the lights, Cooper Rush will not make as many mistakes that will cause them to lose. I think Tony Pollard will be active, and Danny Nichols, Danny Pennies will be running for his life the entire game. I don't see Parsons letting up. So I got Cowboys winning in the close one.
Danny Nichols, Danny Pennies. Okay.
I noticed something between Cooper Rush and Dak. Cooper Rush do have a quick release. I watched that game last week. I was like, I always root against y'all. So, hey, that's my energy. You know what I'm saying?
That's the negative energy I'll be feeling.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, Cincinnati, how y'all letting this guy get the ball out his hands that fast? I was like, yeah, I don't know. Now I just read a stat. They say, is Joe Burrow having a Colin Kaepernick moment? And I was like, what? And I think they talk about when Colin Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl and then he didn't perform well the year after. So I was like, but look at Matt Ryan, and you could just compare him to Matt Ryan, and you could just see it. Then you could just like, okay, Matt Ryan really just didn't do it. He couldn't get back together ever since the Super Bowl. So I mean, but I think Cincinnati will figure out sometime point of the season. I don't think they're gonna be that bad that everybody think they are. They just got to get a man some protection. But to my point. But I watched Cooper Rush. He do have a pretty good release out of his hand. And I'm not trying to soup him up or anything, but I'm not just trying to start no quarterback controversy with Dak and Cooper Rush.
It's too late for that, sir.
Mike Irvin started that himself.
Michael Irvin then took the ESPN blueprint to me.
Michael Irvin then took the ESPN blueprint, the white residue, mixed them together with something else, maybe some purple drink. Then he get on TV talking. I don't know what they let him do that for.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But, man. Wise, who you got? What's the score? I'm not gonna say who you got. I'm gonna say what's the score because I know you picking.
Of course, you don't pick that. I'm picking Giants.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna go. I'll go 24, 21.
Okay. All right, we'll see. It'll definitely be a good game. Obviously, like we've been talking about, it's one of those division games, and they gonna go at it, knock down, drag out to the very end. So, looking forward to tomorrow's matchup. Also, looking forward to Monday's matchup as well. And as we kind of round out the show, we did. Cool brought up a good topic real quick. We can just kind of shout out a division. If you looked into this, worst divisions in the NFL in the past 15 years, I think that's what you said, Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna kick it to you first as we kind of want to give us your division.
Well, there's
and
a
kind of
couple. Yeah, there's a couple.
There's a
But I'm
couple.
gonna go with the NFC North, and the reasons being is Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers has been everybody's daddy in that division for the last 15 plus years. So the other three teams in the division, every once in a while you'll get one to have a decent season, maybe make the playoffs. But there's been a one team horse for most of my adult life. So yeah, you're garbage.
All right. Sorry about that audio right there. All right. Sam.
Oh man, this is kind of tough. I would probably say the AFC South. I know Indianapolis has been pretty solid, but the rest of that division has just been rough.
Yeah, I'll get that to you. All right. Livewire, I know you jumping in as a guest tonight. I don't know if you got something off the top of the dome.
Oh man, it's tough between the AFC North and the NFC in Green Bay, but I'm gonna have to go with the NFC with Green Bay. Though I think you always have one. You always have Green Bay, then you always have either Minnesota or Chicago. And right now, none of them look good.
Besides the Lions.
The Lions, yeah, I think they trying to make a stand. So it depends on what they do in the next 4 or 5 games. Then we're gonna say, okay, But right now, I'm gonna exclude the Lions because of how they played the first 2 games. But everybody else is looking really trashy over there right now. So I think, to me, yeah, I'm gonna say that division is probably the worst in football right now.
Yeah, and to Cool's point, I'll give mine. The AFC East, because really,
you picked mine.
I'm gonna go there. But New England's been everybody's daddy, really, besides 2 years ago. Like everybody, it didn't matter who it was. The Bills had a little bit of a resurgence one year. The Jets thought something with Chad Pennington one year with a butt fumble, Mr. Butt Fumble. They thought they had something that year.
Mark Sanchez,
exactly.
Sanchez.
Tom Brady was their daddy, and Belichick was for a long time. So, Wise, I picked yours. But anything you want to add on to that?
Oh man, you said it perfectly, man. Tom Brady was the daddy of the NFC East. Why, he was actually the daddy of the whole NFL for a minute. But
No doubt.
But it would be the AFC East because New England had a stranglehold on that division. Like nobody else could do. Like once in a while, Buffalo or Miami and the Jets when they had Rex Ryan, but no one challenged New England until last year, until Buffalo really showed that they're legit.
So Josh Allen came on the scene. That gave a spark.
But it's funny because Tua is undefeated against Belichick.
Really?
Tua is 4-0 against Belichick.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
That's a good stat.
That's a night right there, Wise.
Yeah, Tua is undefeated against Belichick. So not too many people can say that.
No.
Tua.
Man, all you Tua haters out there, there's something for you.
Exactly.
I guess call me the defender for quarterbacks. Where they don't get a lot of love for the media. I mean, it was just a matter of time for Tua. He had to grow. He came out of college he already had a hip injury, so he had to get. I think this probably to me. I think going in this season, he's probably really, really healthy for the first time. He ain't got to worry about no Fitz magic behind him, and everything like that. So, and they surround him with weapons, because that's what he had when he was at Alabama, when he put Jalen Hurts on the bench. And so nowadays,
Was that a targeted cough?
oh yeah, definitely. So, but
I just want to say real quick, college. We talking about college, not the NFL. College.
Oh my god!
Shout out to Allen Iverson.
Right? College?
And Mora.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Playoffs? Are you kidding me? Playoffs? So Tua got weapons now, and I think this game Sunday against Buffalo, man, Miami pulled this game off. This gonna be probably a good fight to the finish in that division.
Yeah, and
that's gonna be a fun one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
I'll say this: there's a lot of people giving props to Mike McDaniel so far, which I don't doubt. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I do want to say the previous coach of the Dolphins,
Flores, yes.
Flores. Let's not forget the Flores brought this team from dirt. I'm talking about from nothing. So put some respect on Flores' name while you giving all these shout outs to McDaniel for 2 games.
Listen,
now.
That's more than 2 days worth of work. Just remember.
Facts.
Yeah, no, Brian Flores is the beginning. He was the beginning of that turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying
He got Mark Jackson.
Especially
yes, he did.
That's what I was about to say.
He did. He did. He did Mark Jackson, but
100%. So I wanted to loop back around real quick. Sorry, this is kind of off the top, but the take that Livewire had about Ezekiel Elliott possibly being done after this season, there is actually an out in his contract this upcoming offseason. So there's a big likelihood that he's gone after 2022.
If they don't have to pay him, I think if they have an out, they may take it.
It would cost him roughly $1 million. That would be it.
Oh wow. He gone.
Yeah.
Everything you done for it. Thanks for all those crop top shirts you wore. It really helped. You just won a ton of games, Zeke. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he'll probably be Trenton Richardson after that.
He'll probably go that. He might go play Russell Wilson. He might play with Lamar Jackson. Who knows?
Maybe. He'll be in a running.
Ain't gonna be no money with Lamar Jackson. He taking all that.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, offensive line, and a bunch of rookies.
If the Ravens give it to him, acting like they don't have it.
He could go play with the Rams.
Asking for it and say I ain't got it.
I ain't got it.
I ain't got it.
Yeah.
I like what you said about the Rams. That makes a lot of sense. They need a running back bad.
Yeah, he might go down there. Definitely, there's some teams that he can go to.
And I think he'll be in a committee too. Wherever he goes, he'll be the lead guy.
This is what's the important part, though.
Los Angeles.
Chargers. Somebody gonna pay him.
Yeah, but what amount is somebody gonna pay him? I mean, I agree somebody's gonna pay him, but
I could see him being one of those players where he's just playing on 1-year contracts over and over again, and he's just going for whoever's gonna pay him the most amount of money every year, similar to how Peterson ended his career.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Dominic Sue, just waiting for the opportunity, just go to a contender, play, try to win a ring. Hey. Then he could say, "Well, hey, Dak, I got me a ring."
Right. He can go like this.
Yeah.
So that photo.
What? Hold on. Did y'all before the season? When the season started, I think the first Thursday night game when Jones Drew was on NFL Network, he had a ring on his finger. Did he win a ring with somebody for real?
college, I believe.
Oh, because I'm about to say, I know he ain't win no Super Bowl ring with nobody because he been gone for a minute.
Yeah,
No,
he was in
went-
Jacksonville most of his career.
Yeah,
They never
he
even sniffed
did
a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing he would have got would have been a Pac-10, unless it's his high school ring or something.
Or they,
That's possible too.
unless they still giving out them rings in them Cracker Jack boxes or one of them. I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, but yeah, that's why I was like, because he kept saying, and it was a big ring on his finger. I said, well, this dude must be borrowed somebody ring on that set. There's no way in the world. He probably told me William McGinnis, hey, let me use your ring for a minute. And so, but yeah, all of these division games is going to be really, really critical because it could swing the advantage to whoever. Like Giants could win. They could be undefeated. Philly could win. They could still be undefeated. Washington and Dallas could be at the battle of the borough, or we could win and have everybody tied up. So I think both of these games are gonna be close. I really do. I think they gonna all be in the 20s. And like we always talking about, it comes down to mistakes. Who's gonna make that mistake?
Yep, that key mistake.
Yeah.
That's a mistake. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely agree. The mistakes can kill you, no matter how good you think you are. That if you're the only one that makes the mistake, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, we're gonna round out the show. Any final thoughts? NFC Beast episode number 2, week 3. We can go around the horn. And thank you, Livewire, for coming on the show.
Oh, anytime, man. I really appreciate it. The vibe was good. You know, I got to interact with everybody. You know, like I said, me and Cool, we did something early in the week. We did, preview from both our games. But I got to, it was great to be on and get to meet y'all guys.
Definitely.
Agreed.
All right, Wise. Final thoughts and
Man, I'm excited for this weekend. It's going to be exciting to see who's going to be on top of the division by Monday night. Right, and the Monday night we should know.
Yep, we'll know
who's in charge of the division. So
right at about 11 with 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, we'll probably know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sam. Final thoughts.
This team right here will be at the top of the division. Letting you know right now, it's going to happen. So I predicting we're going 3-0 after this weekend, but we'll see. The Washington game is not going to be one that doesn't scare me for any stretch. They're definitely a team that could definitely beat us this weekend. But with that being said, I think that these are the 2 games of the weekend. If you're going to be watching football this weekend, you want to make sure you're tuning into the Eagles versus the Commanders and also the Giants versus the Cowboys because it's going to be great games.
Yeah, and it's Monday night. So, I mean, if you like football, you don't have a choice. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Something's wrong with you.
Agreed.
All right, cool. Final thought.
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm live. I'm ready. I just want to see a good game. Obviously I want to win, but if we don't win, man, it's a good game. I'm still going to be happy. I'm still going to talk a lot of trash to anybody with Commanders gear on. I'm going with a Commanders fan, but he already understands that once we step across the threshold of the stadium, we're not friends. Once we step back across, we good again.
We friends again.
Hey,
that should be fun. Get some if you can get some footage, man. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I gotta charge my extra battery, man, because be out there, man. It sucks your battery juice out real quick, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right. Livewire, any final thoughts?
Oh yeah, I'll be locked, loaded, and ready. I'm pretty much tonight. I gotta do a recap of the misery game of Miami and Middle Tennessee State. And then I gotta jump on in the morning with the Sunday morning drive to do a whole hour show of all the games and make picks and stuff like that. And then I got to do do my pregame for myself of the Eagles and Washington. Then I'll be in my Sean Taylor jersey, ready to roll.
All right. And where can people find you on social media or your YouTube?
All right. Well, YouTube is Livewire Sports and Entertainment. You can find me on Twitter, Livewire Sports, and you can find me on Instagram, Livewire Sports. And also I have a Facebook group called Livewire Sports Entertainment. And if you're gonna find me on Facebook, is Martin Pounds. So follow me, link up with me, and definitely I'm open to do more collabs with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot going on, but I'm always about sharing the love.
All right, cool. All right, Shady Sports Network. We are live right now on that YouTube channel. As you can see, we're cool. Eagles Elite. Make sure to subscribe to that one, as well as the Play Callers comes on Friday nights. Wise Stuck in My Mind podcast, and also Real Wise Radio. You can check out all of the fam there, and BS3 Network, all avenues of social media. BS3 TV. We're live on Roku right now. Make sure to subscribe. It's not subscribe, but download or add BS3 TV. Also, BS3 TV Live. So we'll be back next week with another great episode. And we are debuting our new outro as well.
Yeah, I gotta check this outro, bro.
Oh, can't wait.
Oh,
Speaking of which, Cole, if you watch this episode, man, thank you so much for that. That was amazing.
Man.
Oh, cool. By the way, your intro the other day was fire. I like that.
That's
Cole did that too. That's another Cole production.
Yeah,
that's another Cole production.
One and only.
Oh, I'm gonna have to link up with Cole because I'm gonna have to get him to do 2 intros for me. One for my Chicago Bulls and one for my Miami Hurricanes. I already got my main intro, but you know, I like to spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, hey, Cole can do that for you, man. So
Yes,
check
he
this
can.
out. Here's our outro. We'll be back next week with episode number 3. Peace.
All right, peace.